So here's the question. Can a couple of 24-year-olds from South Africa make 10 million rand online in 2026? With no big team, no funding, no investors, essentially just a laptop, phone, ChatGPT, and good Wi-Fi. In this video, I want to be breaking down our exact game plan, what we are going to be doing in 2026 to make 10 million rand, all the strategies, the marketing game plan, what we are doing, our sales funnel, not just in theory, but essentially a step-by-step game plan showing you guys exactly what we are doing in 2026 to make 10 million rand online. And if your goal is to make money online, then I believe this video will serve you tremendously. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let me show you guys exactly our funnel and step-by-step how we plan on making 10 million rand in 2026. So first of all, let's look at the branding of our accounts, right? So we have three different brands essentially, okay? We got Founders Acquisition and School of Athens, which is fairly the same thing, right? So School of Athens is the overarching brand. Under that Founders, it's actually Accelerator now. So we made a new brand change, Founders Accelerator. So I need to still change this and update this, but nonetheless. And so in this brand, we have the info product where we essentially help people from South Africa essentially earn US dollars through freelancing, right? Sign your first US clients in 60 days or less. This is what our info product does. We've got 8,700 people in here. Now, this is not a promotion, right? I don't care if you join this or not. This is merely for educational purposes, trying to convey how we're going to be doing this. So because we have mastered this skill in our own business, we are currently teaching and helping other people to do the same. So essentially they are giving us money and we essentially show them how to do this by saving them time with the skills that we have essentially learned through building our own agency, right? Our own freelancing arbitrage agency. So this is where we essentially send people to our free community where we have classrooms and, showing you exactly step by step how to build this product, right? Like, look how in-depth this is. 2.5 hours to 2 hours and 40 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, 3 hours. Every hour you see in here, we've spent over 11 to 12 hours actually making it. So it is extremely in detail. You don't find any of that information anywhere else. So if you want to know how to make money online from South Africa in the most easiest possible way, I recommend to look at Founders Acquisition, right? Founders Accelerator, excuse me. So we have three different brands. It's very important to have a brand style for each. So this is sort of the brand style that we're making for Founders Accelerator. Then we got Andrew's YouTube and my YouTube. We're still in the process of just doing the rebranding, but just to show you guys, we obviously got the free community here. Then we got the podcast, right? So this is now, as you can see, we went through two different pre-brands, but I really think this is going to be the one that we're going to stick to. So the podcast, as well as my YouTube, right? Which is still going through rebranding as well, as you can see. And then Andrew's YouTube, okay? All three of these play essentially a critical role, which is the top of funnel, or well, actually the middle of funnel, sorry, which is essentially this section. Okay, so this is where we nurture people through value and through content. So they'll go through the podcast, listen to how we speak with this entrepreneur who sold his business for a couple of million, right? We are interviewing him, yes, Suhit, what a G. That was an extremely good interview. So we interview him here. Our entire podcast is focused on, we study the greats of online business to find timeless ideas you can use in your work. So we only interview people in the online business space to essentially dissect their ideas, to convey that to our audience, to essentially help them and teach them how to do the same, right? As an example, we created a podcast episode just about Alex Hormozi's biography. We created our own biography of him. So extremely valuable stuff. Then my YouTube is essentially documenting our journey of building the business, and Andrew's one is just conveying straight and utter value and fire on how to actually build an agency in the first place. So all three of these are essentially, and the school community essentially nurtures the people in the middle of the funnel, right? Essentially establishing us as authority, showing us that we know we're talking about, that our product works, building trust, right? Because all you really need is you need to have a product. That product needs to solve a pain point. That pain point, right, or your product is essentially a solution to that pain point, and marketing is showcasing that your solution can actually solve that problem that the market has. Now, how do you know what the right problem is to solve, right? Well, spend time in the market. That's why what we are building at Founders Accelerator is so amazing, because Andre and I was in this exact ICP's place, right? This was us 3-4 years ago. So we know exactly how to speak to them. What are they going through? Build a product exactly around our pain points. How do we know this? Because we went through this, right? This was us. So we know our clients exceptionally well. Then we have ads that we run to an Instagram profile, Andre's Instagram profile, that essentially follows Andre's Instagram account, right? That Instagram account is where all the reels are about our product, like how this works, freelance arbitrage, right? It really links them back to the podcast, to the YouTube, essentially nurturing them in this ecosystem that gets us in a place of authority. And that's what's so important about a funnel, right? And then from that, we'll run Instagram story, sequences where we do a call to action, which we say DM the word arbitrage, where they can then be placed into our sales funnel, right? Where a setter will see if they are a good fit, right? Not everybody joins Founders Accelerator. It is an exclusive program. We dissect and make sure that everyone that joins is valuable for the people in it, right? But then they'll go through that sales funnel, they jump on a call with Jordan, essentially see if they're a good fit to be able to join the exclusive community, right? Where we have over 40 other killers in this space building online businesses from South Africa, and that's what we are trying to scale, right? So I'm extremely excited for this, and I believe that we are at a situation where our funnel, all right, can handle more volume to a point where all we really do right now is spend more money on the front end on ads. So currently we're spending 60,000 Rand. If we can get to a point where we are spending 200,000 Rand on ads, we are going to be making a 10 to 14x return on that per month. So yeah, I'm extremely excited. And the beauty of this business model is there's an 80% profit margin. So I love building this business and I have extreme passion for that. And as an byproduct of that, we will be successful. All right. Because I wrote an essay about this as well, right? So our essays get posted in the school community as well. So this one is The Man Who Escapes the Wilderness and Why Most Never Do, right? The man who keeps running always finds his way out. This is an extremely good one. But what I say is fall in love with the work. Fall in love with the becoming. Fall in love with the responsibility placed on your shoulders. And one day, quietly, without praise, you'll look up and realize you've made it out. Not because you knew the way, but because you never stopped moving. Right? This is the biggest thing when it comes to successful people. They just never stop moving. They just never stop continuously progressing, moving forward. And the biggest thing with this is that, if you look at the greats, right, and people that die with their dreams, is they literally just gave themselves permission to take action and and place themselves in positions to be lucky to then grab the opportunity by the horns and make it work for them. But if you stop, well, then you're never going to be able to give yourself the opportunity to be lucky and to make it, right? And so as long as you just keep on running, you will find a way out. And the beauty of this is if you have extreme passion for what you're doing, you're obsessed with what you're building, right? And you see how it impacts other people's lives. I mean, there's people in here that have their lives have been changed, right? Like it's exceptional. I mean, we have testimonials of people, right, where we have changed their lives. And so how am I not able to, I'm extremely obsessed with what I'm doing. I'm extremely passionate. That carries over into the work and that carries through the work. And I'm able to put in longer hours, more work. I'm curious, I'm studying always to improve the product. And if you don't have that on your 9 to 5 and you're still doing good work, imagine how good and how successful and how rich you would be if you were actually working in a domain that you were passionate about and that you enjoy doing. So yeah, extremely excited for 2026, and I think it's going to be a good year for all of us. And we just need to put in the work and stay faithful. So at 24 years old, exactly 7 days ago, I had the privilege of spending 48 hours with a multi-millionaire here in South Africa at a 5-star private luxury safari. This multi-millionaire is from the UK, and that's multi-millionaire in dollars, right? And so just to put this experience into perspective, we flew in a private jet, we drank wine older than myself, we even slept in lodges, so deep into the safari and the bush that like wild elephants were walking past us on our way to the lodge. The guide, or the safari guide, he had to walk with us with a torch and a rifle to our room, which was a crazy experience, right? No fences, no like security, anything around the property. It was just completely in the middle of this safari, and above all the crazy luxury of this trip, my favorite part was actually being able to speak to this person that organized this trip, right? That was able to pay for this trip, that could make this trip possible for myself, his best friend, as well as his family. And I actually asked him this question: how did you get started? I'm extremely doubtful and fearful and unsure about some things in my life right now, and I also want to make a success of my life. And he paused for a second, looked out to the safari, and he said, let me tell you a story. Like out of a movie scene, right? Extremely cinematic. And this was by far the number one thing that I've learned speaking to this multi-millionaire over this weekend. If I were to drop two men in the middle of this safari and told them their goal was to escape, find a way out, both would feel the same fears, doubts, confusions, uncertainty. Neither knows where to go, right? They have absolutely no idea what direction to move into. One man freezes. He convinces himself that moving might make things worse. So what does he do? He stays put, hoping that someone will find him, even though staying still means and it guarantees that he will eventually die because he will never get out. The other man feels the same fears, doubts, and uncertainties. But what does he do? He picks a direction and he starts running. He doesn't wait for certainty or for someone to bring a map or to come and save him. He moves anyways, despite the fears, doubts, and uncertainties. And if he doesn't stop running, well, guess what? Eventually, he will find his way out of the safari and reach his goal.
It's super cool to see what you guys do. It's nice to meet the people in, but I feel like everyone is so secretive, right? You guys are like, pick a niche, make it work, decide what you want to do. I'm like, better help me.
It's tough, right? So we're looking at, for example, the niche and say like, the problem is if you say on a YouTube video, let's just say on a YouTube video, I say the best niche to do and to pick is golf courses, and you need to run paid ads to that. Well, then 1,000 people are going to run paid ads to golf courses, and then it's not going to be a good niche anymore. And then I'm going to bear the weight of telling 1,000 people this is a great niche and it's not. Anyone that helps you to decide what niche to pick the only thing I can do is help you pick one. There's no great niche. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
We make the content game work just because that's good for us, right? It doesn't mean paid ads suck. It just means with my experience, it works. So I need to give you a structure on how to choose a niche. But it's like, you still need to dissect what are you good at, what are you interested in, what are you curious about, and you need to try and put this through a funnel that essentially says, you know what? I am curious about, let's say the previous girl, just to make it a bit more hit to home, like with the horse riding, right? So
the polo, the question.
About polo, yeah. So now one of the questions that I would go through in the funnel is, okay, well, does this market that I'm interested in, do they have money? And so horse riding 100%. In general don't really have money, right? So, but polo does. So, okay, this can work. And then you ask, okay, well, am I curious about it? Well, yes, I love riding horses. And then it's like, can you speak with the people? Well, yes, because I'm curious about it. I speak the lingo. Like, then you just start asking yourself questions. You take 10 different interests that you do have. You put that through that. And then after answering all those questions per thing that you're curious about, you're probably going to have 3-4 different niches. And then if you get to a point where you're there, well, any one of those 4 niches can get you to $10,000 a month. The question now becomes are you interested enough to pursue it? And
100%.
That's all it comes down to. So it's like it's actually fairly easy. It's just it's simple, it's not easy. That's the better way to put it. So this story stuck with me, and it hits harder than anything else he shared over the weekend. I think it is because, in business and in life, most men die where they stand. Not because they lack intelligence, they're not smart enough or they don't have opportunity, but because they refuse to move without certainty. They refuse to take action and to back themselves in the beginning, right? They wait for confidence, they wait for a sign, they want want permission, they want more resources before taking action. And the reason why this story hits so hard for me is because I was there, right? But I realized that it's not a lack of resources, but a lack of resourcefulness that's holding me back. I don't need anything extra externally. I got everything that I need internally. I just need to project that. I need to start taking action. And I realized that by taking action, the path reveals itself to you. And I realized how fundamental that mindset and paradigm switch was for me, is that I can't stop thinking about it and talking about it and conveying it in my videos, is because I believe that's the key that everybody will need to at some point utilize to unlock the door to move forward. And this multi-millionaire just reinforced that idea to me and that belief.
How do you go about finding clients to outreach to? My niche is similar to Andrew. I'd like you, James, to tell me how. Influencers, creators, that sort, okay? So let me show you exactly what I do. So obviously you know your client avatar pretty well. So what you should do is type in keywords. What would their YouTube video be like, you know? Best way to make money online in 2026. Look at all these creators. So then I would go to their page. I would see, okay, cool. So his email might be paul@dropshippingtitans.com. That might be his email. Or I just go, yeah, view email address. This is definitely his real email. And then there you got it. That's his email. Or if that didn't work, so you can go on his website and use tools like Hunter.io, Snarf.io to get the emails on the website to scrape it.
So I actually saw a video recently with Charlie Morgan speaking about the different forms to do it. There's only a couple of ways, but he actually said that cold calling is the best if you can get their phone numbers, then email, then like reaching out on social media. I think it's very like niche related, right? So obviously you being with content, like that is how we would do it as the email. You're definitely not getting Mike Tyson's phone number, right? So that's an example. But it's probably
that's why I couldn't do cold calls.
But it's probably the best to get access to the phone number, do cold calls. As an example, you guys probably saw James. So James you guys probably saw his testimony, whatever. But he did emails in the beginning with his niche. First 2 months, he religiously sent 100 emails every single day. Didn't really get any good feedback from that, and so he decided to start doing cold calling. In the first, I think, two or 3 weeks, he signed 3 clients just from doing cold calling. So maybe his specific niche is just better because he was working with Pilates studios or is still working with Pilates studios. And the main way how they are, how should I say, incentivized to get clients, is through answering the calls, right? Same with like restaurants as an example.
You know, the one who escapes the wilderness, right? Or essentially, escapes his 9 to 5 and achieves his goal, whatever his dream might be, is not the one who knows the way, right? Because in the beginning, you won't know the way. No one knows the way, right? But it's the one who gives himself permission to pick a direction and just start running. The one who gives himself permission to take action. When you chase something meaningful like freedom, wealth, purpose, you will inevitably feel lost in the beginning. You will doubt yourself. You won't see results at first, but don't stop running. I don't think that success is complicated. I think it's just slower than you think. The real test is this, can you act with conviction before you have proof? Can you stay loyal to the path before the path feels loyal to you? That's a good way to put it, right? I don't believe that God reveals the finish line up front. I believe He reveals the next step only to the man willing to take it. So fall in love with the work. Fall in love with the becoming. Fall in love with the responsibility placed on your shoulders, right? The price of the dream you prayed for. And one day, quietly and without praise, you'll look up and realize that you made it. Not because you knew the way, but because you never stopped moving. Why? Because the man who keeps running always finds the way out.
So what is our current game plan for 2026? We are obviously thinking about next year and trying to make sure that we are as optimized as possible to make the most amount of money or essentially grow the business, right? What is our current game plan? Or how are you currently
game plan? I mean, you can never really think too far in the future, and you really just do the best you can at, your current state, essentially. But you can have some idea. At the moment, we're just focused on growing the free community. I think that's very, very important, just expanding the market, getting people aware of the solution. I think that's the biggest one. People don't really know what it is and how it works, even though we've been in the game for 3 years and we are well aware of what this is. And even previously we were learning about this. Some people are still brand new. So just getting more exposure, warming them up, and that obviously takes some time. Then we got our flagship program, which is the Founders Accelerator, right? The exclusive community. So upsell them into there. Once they got some free value and they're aware and we are the best solution, then they pay us to get more access, more modules, more accountability, so they can get the results quicker. And then after that, we might bring in like a low ticket something, like maybe $50 to $200. I think that can work pretty well. But I think before we do that, we do like an upsell where it's a bit more like a mastermind level, where it's like very, very tight knit. So it's like, I don't know, 30 people max or something that we bring on per month. When obviously the flagship Founders Accelerator is bringing in like, let's say 100 a month. This one might do like 10 a month, right?
Yeah.
But it's more high ticket and it's like one-on-one coaching, 1 call a week, like much more rigid than like, one community call a week or something like that.
Like, I think just to break down the entire business model in very like simple terms. So the product is, we help South Africans make money online through freelance arbitrage, right? That is the mechanism in the business vehicle that we essentially promote. And what we sell is essentially critical information and a transformation, right? If you look at Alex Mosey or Charlie Morgan, they essentially say, you want to sell a transformation. You're not really selling a product. Like, you're giving them critical information, which is the product, and either in 3 ways, like a done for you, done with you, or do it yourself offer, right? But it's all just critical information. But you want to sell the transformation. You're not selling the information really. You are selling the transformation after someone goes through the product or the information or whatever.
Yeah, Alex Mosey back in the day, like 3 things. It was skills, character traits, and beliefs, right? That's essentially what we're selling. But he boils it down all to skills, which is like, he says belief is a skill, like all of that. But really, let's just take a step back. Like beliefs, we're selling belief systems. So limiting beliefs are a lot. Like that holds a lot of people back, like they can't do it, like can I charge this much, all these limiting beliefs. And then we sell skills, like how to actually sell a client, like here's the actual script, like here's the email copy, like all of the systems. And then character traits, maybe discipline, which also is like information. I don't know exactly how to teach that, but more information really.
And so that is the product and the offer,
accountability.
Right? Yeah, that's a big one. So that is a product, right? And how we are planning on marketing this and increase, because that's essentially like the product is extremely good. But you can have a great product if no one knows about it, well, you're not going to make any money, right? And so we are focusing heavily on, like I could argue and say that Andrew focuses a lot on the product and I focus a lot on the marketing. And so like the main game plan moving forward is we just need to increase the amount of people that sees our content, and we are leading with personal brand as the marketing. So we are making sure that we're running a lot of ads to run to directly to Andrew's content or Instagram account, which is essentially going to, so the top of funnel is going to be the ads. What is going on here? Damn. So the top of funnel is going to be ads, right? So we are running a lot of attention or getting a lot of attention to Andrew's Instagram.
So I want to see how many views that we actually
get. And then, so that's what the ads is all just follow more. And then the Instagram Reels, the YouTube, the podcast, my YouTube, and essentially
I'm on podcasts as well. That helps a lot.
The free school community as well is essentially the middle of the funnel, which is going to essentially get them exposed to, and that's going to be a lot more specific content, right? That's going to be about the freelance arbitrage, our mechanism and our product, and the specific critical information that we are selling and teaching, right? That's going to get them exposed to what our product is.
Oh, this is cool. So over the past 30 days, I got 1.6 million views, and 50% were from ads.
Yeah, look at that.
50.7%.
Show the camera if you can.
Yeah, I think it's working. Good. Okay.
And so, we want to get, so we're leading with ads, top of funnel, a lot of like broad, because our market isn't really educated in this space, right? So we're leading with how to make money online, okay? Then the body of the funnel, which is going to be the Instagram, YouTube, podcast that Andrew and I are hosting as well as what he's jumping on, I'm jumping on my YouTube, and the free school community is essentially going to help people get as exposed to our niche or the business model, right, which is freelance arbitrage. Get them exposed to the information and nurture them and increase the trust and our authority in the space. Because why do they need to buy our product, right? Like they need to know who we are, and we need to have
and we need to have authority in the space for them to purchase the product, right? So that's what the middle or like the content is going to be all about. And then we essentially do call to actions on the story. The stories where people then DM the word arbitrage, and we got a sales process that takes them then from them being interested to them actually being into the product. So yeah, very, very excited. And I think the main thing we can focus on for next year is just finishing up the product and then going heavily on ads. And that's also why we are building out the office space, right? So that we can reduce the friction it takes for us to produce the content on the front end. I think that's going to help a lot. It's also going to increase the quality and the perceived authority. Yeah. So
without a doubt.
And the cool thing is we understand the market so well because we were in the market. I mean, we're still in, right? We are our ICP to a large degree, or at least we were. And so we know exactly the pain. Like, this is the main thing when you're building a product, or like a lot of people think, oh, I have so many good ideas. Like, I can't wait to start this business. I'm like, bro, you don't start a business on an idea. You start in a niche and in a market, and you find the problem, right? If you don't know what idea to pick, well, what's the inverse of an idea? Well, it's probably of a solution, right? It's a problem. So then you spend time in the market, and you try and figure out what's the main problems that this market is sort of experiencing, and then you create a product around that problem. So yeah, we've already done that because we were in the market. So yeah, very bullish on what we're building. Mooi. Plukkies. Yo. Module incoming.
Rock climbing.
Rock climbing 101.
Rock climbing Agora.
How are we feeling, boys?
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's the first time yet rock climbing, but it's experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, meeting all the guys for the first time.
Meeting all the boys. Good, everyone's out. Yeah, how are you feeling, broski?
Actually very excited. It's like fun.
Yeah?
I'm using my body and everything. You see what I see.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed that. It's my first time.
Yeah? Amazing. How is it to finally meet some of the boys in person here? You got John on the right here.
Really good. Exercising and networking at the same time. So it's a
Yeah.
win-win.
Amazing, bro, amazing. John, how are you feeling? Not your first time, but...
No, not my second time.
Okay.
I'm feeling good. It's always nice to meet up with people in person.
Amazing.
Guys, and get some exercise. I'm about to pick the smallest notches here and show everyone how it's done.
Okay. Cool, man. This is fun. We got all the boys out here now in the community. We got some of the team here as well. Beyonce's here. We got Andrew looking jacked. This is fun. This is what it's all about. We like doing these in-person events. Andrew, what do you think? How is it seeing some of the boys out there from the community?
Good. We're teaching some real-life practical skills.
Yeah.
We're never gonna do this.
We're never gonna actually do this, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun seeing everyone being out here, and yeah, it's having a community, right? That's what it's all about.
You know, this past 48 hours really blew my mind, not because of the private jet or the 5-star safari or, you know, the crazy experiences I had, but it was because of the conversation I had with the person that was able to manifest that experience to us all. I saw him crying when he got into the private jet, seeing his father's reaction to him realizing that moment for them. And I realized, like, you know, this is it. This is what it's all about, is being able to have this dream in your mind and manifest that in person. And, you know, there's no praise or glory on the external, right? Yeah, it's with him and his father, but that's all internal. And it's not like 1,000 people was watching him from school who told him he's never gonna make it, right? Like, that is a moment between him and his father. And it might start out being, oh, I'm gonna convince this person wrong, I'm gonna show him, right? But I think later down the line you realize that you don't even care about those people's opinions anymore, and it's all about the internal and about the inner work. And this guy's extremely into inner work and manifestation, and you know, I really think the difference between those who have achieved success compared to those who die with their dreams is one thing, is giving themselves permission to fail, to take action, and to pick a direction and just start running. And so I think you know who you are if you see this video. I honor you for the experience that you were able to manifest for us. And yeah, I think this is a worthy ideal and goal for me to strive for, is to be that type of mentor and person for someone else, right? I think you embody my mission statement and my maxim, which is inspire greatness through action. And so this was once again a note to myself.